Hello, guys. I am doing a little test run to try to get back in the habit of live streaming. I am so rusty with this, it's crazy. I'm gonna take just a minute to set up a couple things. I need to turn my light on. Okay, give me just 1 second. I am here, by the way. I'm just getting things together, so you guys give me just a second. I will be right back. I've got to fix a couple of things. And yes, for anyone wondering, we are going to pull some tarot cards if I can get this working properly. Oh, for someone who spent this many years live streaming, like I've literally been live streaming since 2016? I've totally forgot. I went a year without doing it pretty much. Totally forgot how to do all this. Okay, we're in OBS. There's something really freaky I want to tell you guys about. And if you haven't heard the news, has anyone heard about what happened to Charlie Kirk today? And I do have my chat turned on down here. I'm going to have to watch it because I don't have everything set up perfectly. So I'm going to have to watch it from another phone. So something happened at some Utah event. What is this warning? Uh-oh. Okay, I don't know what that means. Yes, we're going to pull some cards. This is also kind of a test, so bear with me a little bit, guys, because I am having to relearn how to do all this. I was just saying, I streamed for years and then I didn't do it for a while and completely forgot how to do all of this. I want to tell you guys about something crazy that happened. I actually did Donald Trump's third week of September grand tableau on Monday, I think it was. Let me double check because I've got the folder pulled up here. Let's see, when did I film it? Yeah, Monday, September 8th. And I'm going to show you guys proof that it was filmed on Monday, September 8th. The crazy thing is that when I filmed the tableau, I kept getting all these weird things, and I was like, I can't figure out what it's saying. Charlie Kirk and what happened today was in that tableau, and I'm going to show it to you. I've got a clip, but I didn't read it right, and so I scrapped the video. I didn't post it. And I thought, well, sometimes when I do these, maybe there's not enough stuff going on energetically. Sometimes, there's just not enough energy in the air to kind of channel a message through the cards. The shooting was in the cards and I totally missed it, and I see it now. But the funny thing is that I said Charlie Kirk's name in the video. I don't know why I said Charlie Kirk's name. I'm going to show you guys the clip. So just hang tight. I've got to work a couple of things out here. I'm trying to figure out what is this warning that I've got over here. Did I do something wrong? I've still got TikTok brain from streaming on TikTok for so long, and the rules are so strict over there. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up. This is going to be messy. I'm not going to be able to screen share. I'm going to have to actually do it through one of my other devices, but I'm going to show you guys the clip of Charlie Kirk coming into the grand tableau that I pulled Monday. So bear with me for just a second here. Okay, this is really wild. I didn't see it. I didn't see it at the time, but I said his name. All right, back camera, connect. Should be able to see.
You guys can see my keyboard, right? All right. Let me make sure I've got everything. This is really crazy. And oh my gosh, guys. This is crazy. So, okay. Again, this is going to be messy because I'm going to be playing it through my computer. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it.
So
So
here's the
here's the
clip.
clip. And this could be like the famous loyalists, like podcasters like Charlie Kirk and whoever else, or it could just be civilian MAGA. Um, but kind of looking like, let's see, they do have the keys, so that's interesting. Were you
Were you
all
all
able
able
to
to
hear
hear that
that by
by any
any
chance?
chance? So,
Okay,
okay,
here's
here's
what
what
happened.
happened.
So
So,
in
in
this
this
clip, I
clip, I
just
just
clipped
clipped
this
this
out
out
of the
of the
video.
video.
Um, let's
Let's
see
see
here.
here.
Where's
Where's
my
my
mouse?
mouse?
Okay.
Okay.
Here's my
Here's my
mouse.
mouse.
So
So
right
right
here
here
is
is
where
where
I
I
randomly
randomly
say
say
Charlie
Charlie
Kirk's
Kirk's
name,
name,
okay?
okay?
Look at
Look at
these
these
cards.
cards.
The
The
stars is
stars is
kind
kind
of
of
like
like
making me
making me
think
think
about
about
like
like
aiming a
aiming a
telescope at
telescope at
the
the
stars, if
stars,
you
if
know
you
what
know
I
what I
mean.
mean.
Then
Then
we've
we've
got
got
like the
like the
ship,
ship,
the
the
birds
birds
card.
card.
This is
This is
kind of
kind of
like
like
people
people
coming
coming
out
out
in
in
droves
droves
to
to
the
the
park.
park.
And then
And
we
then we
have the
have the
health
health
card
card
and
and
an
an
ending.
ending,
Some
some
type
type
of
of
painful
painful
situation
situation
attached to
attached
a
to a
health
health
card.
card.
And then
And
we
then we
have the
have the
MAGA
MAGA
loyalists,
loyalists,
and then
and
we
then we
have
have
like
like
key.
key.
And
And
sometimes I
sometimes I
think
think
about
about
like
like
key
key
holes,
holes,
you know, when I
when I
see the
see the
key
key
card.
card.
I
I
did
did
not
not
know
know
what
what
this
this
line
line
meant.
meant.
Okay.
Okay.
I had no idea. Um, I stars, I don't think that it means unaliving in particular, because I don't know what condition he's in right now. Sorry, you guys are looking at my dirty keyboard. I told you this is going to be messy. I was actually, like, the crazy part about this is that I had planned on doing a test stream today. I was going to do it last night and I was really tired. You guys, maybe you don't know, I have Lyme disease and like psoriatic arthritis and stuff. So when I get tired, I get really tired, like can't function tired. And so I didn't get to do it last night. And I was like, okay, first thing in the morning, I'm going to do the live stream test. I didn't get to do it. And then all of a sudden the news broke about Charlie Kirk. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm never going to be able to get this live stream going. And now I want to talk about how weird this is. Because the first thing I thought of, I was like, oh my God, this came out in my Tableau. So I went and I pulled up the Tableau and I was like, that's what it meant. But I scrapped the video because I kept going over it. And I was like, I can't make sense of this. And that happens sometimes, you know, like there are tons of videos that I have filmed that I've never posted. And then they turn out to have really accurate information in them. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't post that video because it was right there. So, and I thought, you know what? This time I'm not going to just throw it away and forget about it. I'm going to bring this up because this is crazy. This is like one of the weirdest things that's happened to me. I did the same thing with Abrego Garcia. I did a reading on him way back in the beginning. And I kept getting that he was going to come home, but then something really bad was going to happen once he got home. And then, like, the very next day, I hear Pam Bondi on TV, and she's like, he's never coming back to this country. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I was wrong anyway. So, fine, scrap the video, delete, whatever. And then he came back, and something really bad did happen. So, mind-boggling. But I had to share this with you guys because I could not make sense of that tableau on Monday. And I was like, what does this mean? This is so weird. But I'm going to post the picture somewhere at some point so that you can kind of get like a better look at it. I don't have it set up in OBS to be able to screen share the picture to you right now, or else I would do that. Okay, let me stop rambling for a second. There's so much energy going on in the air right now. I can feel it. Like, I feel like it's affecting me personally. Let's see. My volume dropped. Uh-oh. Can you all hear me at all? I think what was going on initially was I had accidentally forgot to mute my phone when I was showing you guys my screen, so that's why. Yeah, the coffin and the tree together. Tree is health and well-being, and then the coffin right next to it. God, I wish I could pull up a still image of this. Oh, let me just pull it up again because I want to actually show you guys. So let me turn this back on. Okay.
Let's see. I don't know how to do this. Let me flip my camera around and let me see, how does this look? Is it sideways? Yes, it's sideways.
Okay, give me just a second here. I told you this is going to be messy because I'm not like technologically prepared to do this. So here's the video. This is the clip. Here are the 3 raw files that I filmed. And I want to pull up get info. Oh, almost dropped my phone. And I want to show you guys this was filmed, see, created Monday, September 8th at 4:26 p.m. That's when I filmed the tableau, or well, that's when I uploaded it. I filmed it before that, but I uploaded it to the computer. So let me pull this up one more time. And this could be like the famous loyalists,
Like podcasters like Charlie Kirk, and
whoever else,
or it could just be civilian.
but
But kind of looking like, let's see, they do have the key, so that's.
But you'll notice, like, I was struggling really bad with this tableau. I couldn't figure out, it's like, what is this trying to say? But it is so obvious now. It's so obvious. And then there was another thing right up here. And I think now that I know what this tableau is talking about since the developments today, because this was the most important line here on the bottom. And then there was only a couple of other things came through in this tableau, which is like right here. I remember thinking like this has got something to do with White House protection. And I even said something in the video. I was like, this could be something like them putting up new fences. It could be something like, Donald Trump maybe having more security around the White House. There's some other things, but what I think I'm going to do, let me end that real quick. What I think I'm going to do is just do like a text version of that tableau because there wasn't much came out for whatever reason. And I couldn't read the rest. So I was just struggling with it so bad I didn't post it. Let me check the comments here. Okay. Stars aligned. I'll tell you the thing about Lenormand, it was a struggle. It was a big struggle for me because, and I still struggle with it sometimes. If I'm not in the right frame of mind, nothing comes to me. If I am like having a good non-Lyme disease day, I'm a little quicker, but I'm pretty slow with it in general. But I tell you what really helped me a lot was like reading a lot of books about Lenormand, and just kind of like starting with like simple word bank connections and then kind of synonyming my way out of it, if that makes sense. But I'm glad to hear there are other Lenormand readers out there because Lenormand's pretty amazing. I think in a lot of ways it's, some ways it's a little bit superior to tarot. I wouldn't say that it's better. Neither one's better than the other. Anyway, I'm rambling. Yeah, the volume thing is because there's a audio control on when I pull up my phone. There's audio coming through it as well. So anytime I shut it off, it kicks off. Okay, so what I was initially going to do, I was going to put my phone up on my tripod and like that way you guys could see the cards. But I think, I don't know if we'll do that. I would have to like pause for a minute. If you guys give me just a minute, I'll try to do that setup real quick, and that way we can pull some cards, or I can just expand this window and just show you the cards. Let me just do it this way. I'm gonna just put this in the center. It's gonna be messy. Like I said, this is a test run video that I've been planning to do, and I just having trouble getting to it. I think tarot it's easier to learn in a way. It's a lot of studying. Okay, so that's my thing with tarot cards is constant studying. I have read so many books on tarot. I can never read enough books on it. And once you kind of start to learn the cards in a way that turns them into a person, if you can humanize those cards, you will see them so differently. Hang on just a second. I've only got this little deck here next to me. I'll have to go find another if we want to do anything else. Oh, thank you for coming, Time for Change. Yeah, this is a test live stream. I swear it's not going to be this messy later on. But for anybody who just now tuned in, go back and watch the stuff I was talking about with Charlie Kirk, because that was wild. But yeah, so we can pull some tarot cards. If you guys have any questions, I want to try to work out the bugs as we go with my OBS setup. And normally I would have the cards from an overhead view, but I'm not going to do that right now. I might start a second stream later tonight if I have the energy. And, now that I've got the actual stream set up, worked out. So if anybody's got any political questions, feel free to start throwing them out there. And let me just make sure that I am caught up on the chat. And hello and welcome, everybody. Sorry I wasn't getting to everybody. It's as much live streaming as I've done, it stresses me out to try to do a live tarot stream on YouTube, because in order to read tarot cards, I need to be able to clear my mind completely. But in order to run a live stream system, I need to be using my logical mind. So it's like my brain's going, and I can't, at some point I'd like to have somebody come up here and help me so that I can focus on the cards and not the technical aspect of the stream, because I can't do both. I've tried and it's a mess, but we're gonna figure it out together. So if I miss anything in the comments, I'm so sorry. I'm struggling here. Let's see. I'd like to know what 45's response will be to this situation. That's a good question. What will Trump say? What will Trump say? This is just me thinking about Donald Trump and how he always does the same type of stuff over and over. He'll probably be like, I didn't know him. I never met him before. People tell me he's a good man. He's a good guy. Very nice. He's treated me very nicely, but I've never met him. You know how he just rambles on. And it's just like, what are you talking about? Okay, I'm going to pull a card or two for that. What will be Trump's response to the Charlie Kirk thing? This is actually a really interesting question, because I feel like the Republicans right now are gonna get confronted with a very inconvenient truth. Very, very sad, inconvenient truth. And yeah, so let's get what we got here. Tower. Probably going to be some glare. I apologize for that. Got the Tower card. Trump. Have to focus in on his face and the sound of his voice in order to pull cards for him. It's a lot. And now, I just mentioned the Three of Cups the other day. And guys, if you saw one of my latest videos, you probably saw me mention that this card tends to come up at weird times. It's like, why would there be a celebration or a party, especially in the context we're asking right now? I don't think that's what it means. I think, so we've got the Tower, the Three of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. Already seeing Donald Trump kind of turn his back on a situation. I think that what he turns his back on is the pivotal piece of information here. I think because a lot of people, we know what everybody's going to be saying is what we've always been saying, is that we need control, we need safety, we need change, right? But with these two cards, I think it's easy for Trump and the administration to just kind of say, their niceties, their polite society statements, their thoughts and prayers, and well wishes in the time of tragedy, and then just walk away from it. Kind of what it looks like. Let's see here. Ooh, from Oregon. Thank you. I appreciate that. Where is Melania? That's a good question. I'm always telling you guys, you got to read that book that her friend wrote. She had a BFF that wrote a book about her. That'll tell you a lot of what you need to know about Melania. But where is she? We'll say, where is she right now? Where is Melania? And let's get a sense of her mental state as well. Like her energy overall. That's the fear of defeat. Chariot. I feel like that one's probably far away. Far away from Trump. As far away as she can get. King of Wands. So I think right here what we've got with the Chariot, the Five of Swords, and the King of Wands, when we combine these for a combined meaning, kind of seems like there's a lot of distance between them physically. Emotionally, she's in a place where I think she's thinking about the fear of defeat. Is the first thing that came to mind for this card, humiliation and fear of defeat. I think she's feeling pretty rough right now. I think she's probably also feeling pretty aggressive right now, and I think she's probably pressuring Trump to get more aggressive about the things that are coming out. Kind of what it feels like. Yes, I think he will respond with rage and revenge to a lot of things, but probably not what happened with Charlie Kirk today, but we'll see. He has this terrible way of just letting his loyalists kind of get sucked under the bus and left, He's pretty bad about abandoning people. He doesn't have any allegiance to the people who helped him get where he is. With Sergio at the club, I don't blame her. Filming for YouTube, it's a ton of work. Yeah, but I went to film school, so in a weird roundabout way, I'm kind of getting to, a little bit. It's very different, but and that was like so many million years ago. Back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth is when I went to film school. So, at the time there was no hope or dream of anything like YouTube or TikTok. I don't know if you know this, but like I had like a whole adventure on TikTok for the last 3 or 4 years. It was wild. Totally different than YouTube. I actually left YouTube for a few years and then came back when all of the weird political stuff started on TikTok. But yeah, I mean, it is an adventure every day, but it is a lot of work. My mom and I are watching. Oh, awesome. Yeah, so did you hear the story I was telling about Charlie Kirk? Because, listen, those are blowing my mind. I don't know why I said his name. Usually when I do tableaus and when I get to the dog card, what I usually say is, this could be, famous MAGA or this could be civilian MAGA. Because, how can you pick just one? There's so there's Candace Owens, there's Charlie Kirk, there's I don't know, tons of others across varying degrees of loyalty. So I normally don't say their names, and I don't know why Charlie Kirk's name came to my mind. It was weird. And then today, with what happened, I was like, oh my God, weird. Anybody got any questions? You know what that makes me think of? That reminds me of my Discord. I don't know if anybody here uses Discord. I've had a few people contact me to ask if I do like personal private readings, and I don't. Unfortunately, just because of my health and, you know, time and all that stuff, I don't normally do them. I used to do them in Discord for my TikTok subscribers. But I haven't for a really long time, and it just, I don't know, maybe if I ever get back to a point where I have the energy and time, I might do it. But if anybody's interested in Discord as just a place to like hang out and talk and post stuff and keep each other up to date, I do have a Discord that's kind of just sitting there. We're not really using it anymore for the TikTok stuff because I'm not doing TikTok anymore. And I think most of the members that are in there, I don't think they really come by too much anymore. But I have it, and it's a really good way to connect with people and have kind of like a secret little tree house, you know, to hang out in. And the only way that I can share it with you guys is if I set up channel memberships, but I can't really commit to channel memberships on YouTube. I don't fully understand the whole channel memberships thing as it is right now. Otherwise, I'd just be putting the link out there like to a bunch of random people. But if anybody here is interested in joining the Discord just as a place to hang out and share stuff with each other, send me, what is the best way to contact me? Oh my God. I've got an email in my description box usually. I haven't checked it in a while, but send me an email and I'll add you, like I'll send you an invite to it. I don't want to set up channel memberships on YouTube, at least not right now. And the only other way, like I said, is, you know, to directly share the link. If that makes any sense. I don't know how many of y'all use Discord. I don't know if it's really that popular anymore. How long will the illegal takeover of Chicago last? And will it expand to other cities? Well, he is saying that it will expand to other cities. So, but I'll try to get some cards for that. We'll see. I think the stream's running pretty smooth. I'm not having as many problems as I thought I would, except that I do need to like run my second camera so there's not like a big black background. Chicago. I've been meaning to do a reading on this. So we've got the Six of Swords. Chicago. King of Swords. There's Trump's energy coming in. He always likes to show up as a King of Swords. I think this one's wanting to come out. I'm going to take it. So, I'll tell you, full transparency, for tarot readers and Lenormand readers, he could do timing. More power to him. I can't do timing. I can't. I've tried every method in every book. I can't do specific timing. So, I'll just tell you that up front. But what we've got the Six of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Six of Wands. So, that's a lot of sixes. Does that mean anything? I don't know. I'll tell you, here's my conjecture. What I think is going to happen is that Trump's going to roll this occupation into midterm season. And I'm going to probably make a video on this. And I don't know if the 6 is going to be, if it's 6 months, 6 weeks, the month of June, you know, 6 might be significant here. So, you know, remember that number. But I think he's going to roll it into midterms, and I think that the reason that he's starting early is so that he can populate cities everywhere. But getting back to the cards with the Six of Swords and the Six of Wands combined, this is someone. There's two potential interpretations of this. I would say this is someone looking for praise. This is someone looking for accomplishing something publicly. This is potentially, how do I word this? I always, like, my mouth gets ahead of my brain. Going to a new place, getting a new perspective, gaining popularity, notoriety. I think, as far as timing goes, no idea, but I think what he's going to want to do is keep it going for as long as he's getting positive feedback. Now, the caveat here is that we have confirmation from former Trump employees that they curate the information that they give him. Okay, so he's under a different impression of how the public is perceiving him. This comes up a lot in readings. This is something that I feel like is pretty important. So in his mind, he thinks that people are, on his side and for his decisions, like, occupying Chicago. He's going to keep going for as long as he's getting the praise. Do you know what I mean? So, like, he's wanting to accomplish something. Let's pull a couple cards, actually, to see what it is that he's wanting to accomplish specifically. I don't know if I should take that one. It did jump out. It jumped out. It's a Knight of Wands. Maybe we'll put it back in the pile. We can theorize all day on what it is that Trump is doing or what he's hoping to do, but let's see what the cards have to say about it. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles. We'll get 3 cards to start with. I like to read in 2s and 3s, mostly 3s. Queen of Wands. So that's interesting. The King of Wands that jumped out, or the Knight of Wands that jumped out a minute ago. Now we have another representation of Wands court cards. It's about control, physical control for sure, because we've got 2 Wands cards. One of them I put back. Fighting. He wants a fight. I think it's that simple. I can sit here and tell you all sorts of meanings regarding these 3 cards, but I think what it comes down to is he wants a physical fight. And there are a lot of things that can be canceled if there's civil unrest. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, let me get to the comments. I told you guys I'm real bad at like going from cards to stream to cards to stream, so just bear with me here. Have they confirmed that Kirk has passed? Because I was watching Dean and Parker, or I was kind of listening to them in the background when I was getting stuff set up, and they were saying that miraculously he was maybe not stable, but I guess still alive. So I don't know, and that was like right before I started the stream. I don't want to ask the cards if he's, I don't want to do that. It just feels icky. Ivanka, that's a good question about Ivanka. Let's pull some cards for that. Oh wait. Do you think, as far as political violence goes, yeah, I don't know. I think there's so much instability right now. I think there's something bad in the air. And I have had, let me just tell you guys this, because I don't get to ramble in my videos too much, and I love to talk, y'all. I just love to talk and talk. So let me tell you guys about this. I have had this horrendous feeling pretty much all year that something really, really bad is coming. And I kept thinking, I was like, what? You know, I mean, obviously things are going to suck with the regime, and maybe it's just anxiety from that. I don't know. I got kind of freaked out for a little while when they started, like NASA and stuff, started talking about that comet thing that's, you know, flying through space right now, supposed to get here around December. I was like, oh no, that's the bad feeling. It's like an extinction event. You know what I mean? And so that kind of freaked me out a little bit. And I was like, no, they're saying that it's not going to come close to Earth. So hopefully we're good on that front, and it's not going to be like that movie, Don't Look Up. But I feel like something really bad is coming. And I hate to be negative in my videos and be like, guys, America's changed. Things are not going to be the same anymore. I don't want to put that out there, but that's honestly how I feel. I don't know if anybody else is really feeling that way. The Knight of Wands coming back out again. Let's pull 2 more cards and let me find my question here. Political violence. More coming. He did pass. Yeah, political. We're doing the question for political violence, and then we'll get to the Kirk situation. I feel icky. I don't know if you guys saw the video clip, but literally the person who was talking to him literally said moments before he was talking about gun violence. So just too much. It's just too much. Okay, but let's look at the cards here. So we've got a situation of, we're trying to figure out, you know, does the violence escalate at this point, the political violence? I think there's a little sense of a back and forth here, and a kind of doing what you have to do. And I have to kind of tone down what I actually really want to say about this. I can't say exactly what I'm thinking. So let me think of an easier way to put this. Yes, based on these 3 cards, I would say yeah, but I don't think it's going to be like an all-out mutiny all at once. Does that make sense? And let me get the Ivanka question real quick. Where did that go? This is why I need a helper. But I'm not ready to try to figure out how to add people to OBS yet. This is crazy. So we had a question about Ivanka. That was Sonia asked that question. Oh, thank you so much, Michael. Holy cow, thank you. Or Michelle, I'm so sorry. I can't see my screen. Michelle Shelton, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. That is so incredibly kind of you. I very much appreciate it. Ivanka. Ooh, what am I feeling with these cards? This is kind of... Okay, guys, don't shoot the messenger, okay? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no about the Ivanka thing. I think it came close. I think there's definitely some problems. But as far as a bridge too far, that's what I'm thinking. A bridge too far. Like, for some reason, as soon as I saw this card, I was just thinking like a line drawn in the sand. The Emperor, I think he would perceive himself and his heirs to be too good for common use. Does that make sense? I'm speaking in code a little bit. We do have the death card here, which is a good indicator of a no. I don't think that they did that to her, but I do think they did other things. We'll leave it at that. Okay, where am I at in my comments? I'm sorry, I'm so slow at reading comments and doing the cards. Okay, so we do have confirmation on Kirk passing. Briar, thank you so much. Trump and Hassan confirmed it. Is Biden upset about anything in Kamala's new book? That's a good question. Let's get a sense for Biden. How is Biden perceiving Kamala's new book? Oh, and I'll tell you guys something. While we're on that topic, I saw a video on TikTok earlier today where MSNBC took a passage from her book completely out of context. Totally out of context. And they made it seem like she was, you know, trying to put all the blame off on Biden. And just a couple videos before that, I had seen that same passage in full, and it's not at all what she said. So right now, the media is going to be trying to attack Kamala and Biden, and they're going to try to use, like, pit them against each other. It's basically triangulations, what it is. Take it with a grain of salt, do your due diligence, and don't listen to the mainstream media. I'm going to get the book as soon as I can and read it. And I think everybody should, you know, because they're definitely going to try to use. So I feel like instantly I could see Joe being proud of her. Normally I wouldn't say that, but I just feel like this, as soon as I saw this card, I saw Joe's face in my mind smiling, and he's like so proud of her for her book. I love him. I love her, but I love him. He's so sweet. Why does this keep coming up? Strange. Making me feel a little uncomfy. Knight of Wands. That's what, the third time that the Knight of Wands has come out. I think it's trying to tell me, you know what? When this happens to me, I usually stop what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, what are you trying to tell me? And it will just tell me a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to do that here in a second. I'm actually going to put this card off to the side, and we're going to do that live because it's trying to tell me something. High Priestess. I think in this aspect, I think probably Joe looking at Kamala with a lot of respect. I don't think that the Priestess is coming through here as like the usual meta, you already know the answer to this question kind of thing. I think it's coming through here as Joe looking at her as a person who is, you know, very capable, very competent, very talented. And normally I don't read the High Priestess that way, but, and I think also with the Temperance card here, I think that he knows that he couldn't have picked a better vice president, and that I think they both have an understanding that they had a perfect team. The two of them together were a perfect team. And, you know, people can say what they want to. Honestly, if this time period hadn't been so fraught with MAGA disinformation and all the hatred and the vitriol that is so commonplace nowadays, people would have really been able to see him for, you know, his good heart, and see her for her immense capabilities and intelligence. And, you know, if this had been a different time, people would have seen it. But I think, you know, it was just a bad time for them to be in the public spotlight because there's so much disinformation running the show at this point. Let's see. But yeah, to answer the question, I don't think Biden's upset. I think he's proud of her based on the cards. Okay, trying to get through Hi from Virginia. Hello. Hello, Michelle. And thank you again for that super chat. I truly appreciate it. Hi from Mike. Well, hello, Mike. Your twin brother is a Michael. That's awesome. Oh, so we do have confirmation. Okay. Whew. That is intense. Can't get onto Facebook right now. So let's see what the cards are trying to tell me, because there's some reason I keep getting this card, and since I don't think we have any more questions right at the moment, let's see what is tarot wanting me to know about this situation. So we got the Death card jumping out. Let's see. And if anybody has any political questions, feel free to throw them into the comments there and I will get to them. Temperance coming back out. Interesting. So we've got Knight of Wands, Death, Temperance. Ooh, the Chariot. Again, the Chariot was out earlier. Getting some repeats on the cards here. We've got the Star card. And suddenly I'm glad I don't have my secondary camera running, because I've heard people are getting like strikes or warnings or whatever on their YouTube account for like certain tarot cards having, you know, artistic, creative nudity or something like that. So ooh, kind of getting an overwhelming feeling of there's something going on. Something's definitely brewing. That's why that card kept coming out. An end to something that has teeter-tottered back and forth. What is it? Come on, tarot. Sometimes I have to sit and look at these a little bit when they do this to me. What? Ooh. Page of Cups. That's usually my Democrat card in this circumstance. I don't think that it's gonna be. Some kind of fight. Somebody's fighting. I don't know if this maybe, possibly, the administration starts some type of something performative based on today's events. Could be used as, oh, we got the Hierophant and the Ace of Cups. And there went the Hierophant, or the Ace of Cups. So there's the Hierophant. So we got a play on emotions. We've got someone in society, someone at the top of like a moral society. How do I say this? I'm thinking morality, society, societal norms, calling on society, leveraging emotions, holding emotions. They're holding the emotions hostage almost, is kind of what it feels like. Taking something and running with it. It's something that they've gone back and forth with. I wish I didn't have my screen cropped right now. Something that they've teeter-tottered back and forth with. Now all of a sudden it's valuable. And then we have the Death card and the Knight, which I think is, that's where the big fight energy is coming from. Something's getting ready to happen. I hate to say this. I don't like to commentate too much on these types of things, but did I lose you guys? Did my internet just kick off? Oh no. Hopefully it didn't. It's been unstable for a few days. I could definitely see this situation being leveraged for something, for use of something. Never agreed with anything Kirk said. I feel sad about his death. Yeah, there's so many terrible things going on these days. And they don't have to be. Things don't have to be this bad. People don't have to hate each other this much, you know? It's all a choice. Everybody's making their own choices, and unfortunately, a lot of people are choosing the wrong thing. James Tellerico win the Texas Senate seat. I don't know anything about this, so this will be an interesting draw. Let me... Okay, James Tellerico. I can't imagine his face or voice in my mind, so I may not get an accurate reading on him, but we'll try. We'll see what we get, and we'll see if we're right, I guess. That's how I like to go into tarot readings sometimes. Like, well, let's just see. Let's see what we can get. Okay. Concentrate. James Tellerico. Texas Senate. I'm not going to show you this card. It's the Lovers. Flash it real quick, but if I can't blur it out, the obscenities, I'm not going to show it because of terms of service and such. But we got the Lovers card. The Lovers is two things coming together, not necessarily people in love. It is things working together for the greater good. So let me get a couple more. Queen of Pentacles, interesting in this circumstance. This is being financially stable, which is always a good relevant sign for election outcomes. Usually whoever is the most financially stable and doing the best financially is usually who the winner is. So that's a good sign. That's a positive sign towards yes, but it's not a definite sign. James Tellerico. Five of Cups is not a good card. That's a bad outcome. I would say there are two good cards here. I think this is one of those situations where it's either or. Either they do this or this will happen. So with the Queen of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Five of Cups, I would say that there is a solid chance of failure just because we did get the Five of Cups, and that's a really bad card. That's the Minor Arcana Death card. But the Queen of Pentacles and the Lovers together is, I would say, perhaps he needs to fuse for financial purposes, and if he doesn't reach that financial fusion, no, probably not. The answer will probably be no. But he's going to have to work with somebody or combine forces with somebody. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like just with the Lovers and the Queen of Pentacles. And it could be like a female energy. You know, a lot of times people read court cards that way. I don't tend to read court cards as if they're specific people unless I really feel like an energetic push towards a specific person. But looks like there's more finance issues than they might be able to tackle. What is next? will the government be shut down at the end of this month? See if we can get a read on that. Holly, that's an interesting point. I bet he won't, though. But he might. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we should ask that, actually. Hello, peace to all. Yeah, no problem, for sure. Any questions you guys have, just let me know. Just throw them out there. Government shutdown. So the first card we've got, this is a weird one. So the 7 of Cups in this circumstance, I feel like they, like, psych. You know how when people will, like, psych out, like, like, oh, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Psych. You know, that's, for some reason, that's what's coming to mind. Because this is a card of choices and delusions and creating illusions. And, you know, maybe you have a lot of choices. Maybe you want people to think you have more choices than you do. Let's get a couple more cards, though. So we got the 5 of Swords and the Emperor. I think, this is interesting. This could go a couple of ways. So I've got to stop. Every time I see the Emperor card in a Trump reading or like a political reading, I think it's Trump, because he likes to present as the King of Swords, the Emperor, and the Hierophant. But then also the Emperor and the Hierophant kind of show up for some other people in the regime as well. I've got to stop looking at it that way. It's become the meaning of the card for me at this point. So if I try not to look at this as Trump, this choice, I'll tell you what it's making me think of. The Emperor in this situation could very well be little Mikey. And little Mikey could be thinking about avoiding humiliation, avoiding a situation he doesn't necessarily want to be put in. I think it's going to depend. I think there's no answer to this yet. I think it's going to depend on how things play out from now until then. And I don't think that it's, obviously they have a bad habit of like, you know, like, oh, we have to do this. We have to do this for whatever reason, but then there's actually a different reason. It's one of those type of scenarios. If he needs to avoid something, yeah, probably. If he doesn't have to, then it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. But it's going to be used as a weapon and as a tool by the Emperor, which in this case is probably Mikey. And it's going to be used strategically. So I'm not going to say either way, honestly. I don't get a solid feeling either way. Not right now. I need a drink of something. Sometimes I just get to talking, and then I lose my voice. Can't talk no more. I used to do 2-hour streams here on YouTube years ago, and I would literally talk so much I couldn't talk the next day. I gotta figure out a new setup for this little chat window. I thought it was going to pop up over here where I'd be able to see it. It's in a little tiny box over here and I could barely see it. I wonder if all this will shake Trump to the core. That's what we were trying to ask earlier with the cards. And we got the card of the one that stands out the most when I look back on that now, because I don't know how long I've been on here. Of him walking away, you know, him just, you know, kind of like he's done with other people in the past. He recently just did this with Mike Johnson. You know how Mike tried to tell everybody that Trump was a secret agent man? Trump just was like, not getting involved in this. You're on your own, Mike. And they just literally threw him under the bus. But Mike's the kind of person you can't really throw under the bus because he's like one of the most powerful people in Washington right now. So he bounced back. But if he had been a lower level politician, gone. Zoom, under the bus. And that's the thing that always comes out every single time I do a reading on, like, how's Trump going to react to this? How's he going to react to that? It's always cards about just turning your back on stuff. Always. It's crazy. And it's what he usually tends to do. But if you guys just tuned in, there was another reading came through at one point in here. And I really think that if it is advantageous for the regime to use today's tragic events to their benefit, we will see something happen. But, yeah. Oh, let's see. All right, guys. I don't know if we have any more questions or if anybody, anybody wants to throw anything else out there. I don't even know how long I've been on here. I'm going to try to start doing the live streams as soon as I get all the bugs worked out, which is what this was. This was kind of a test run. And not everything is fixed perfectly. So I might hop back on at some point. I don't know if it'll be like tonight or in the morning or something. And just try to work out a few bugs as we go so that I can start coming on. Maybe like, every morning or something, and do like an hour or something like that in addition to video uploads. And then that way, because I've always wanted to be able to cover the topics that you guys suggest, and then I lose the comments because of the way YouTube's comment review thing is set up. I lose them. I try to screenshot them and I don't know, I lose them. Oh, here's a question. Got a question, right? Let's make him more vulnerable. Do you mean Trump? Will it make Trump more vulnerable? Is that what you're asking, Roger? Oh, we were also going to ask about Utah. Will Trump, while we wait for Roger to clarify a little bit, Utah, the Lovers card jumped back out. I'm not going to count that, just in case. If it's meant to be here, it'll come back out again. Will Trump send National Guard to Utah? This is weird. Okay, so the Lovers card just jumped out. Temperance and Death just jumped out again. They were in the last couple spreads. Weird. I'm going to put them back. Well, speaking of Trump's defenses, though, did you guys see the video clip from yesterday? I don't know if it was captured yesterday, but I think I saw it last night or this morning, where the people were protesting him at the restaurant. Wasn't it interesting how the Secret Service didn't... I mean, he had to, point and tell them. There were several seconds there where the Secret Service is just whatever. That was weird. That was weird. I mean, I feel like it was weird. You would think that they would be a little more, I don't want to say aggressive, because maybe they care about people's right to protest and demonstrate constitutional right, but considering what has happened in the past, you would think they would be a little more edgy, a little more, quick to respond. So we've got the Six of Pentacles. I feel like that's, a good chance of Trump possibly doing it, but I feel like only if... Well, let me get a couple other cards before I finish that sentence. It's going to depend. It's going to really depend on whether or not... Interesting. The Knight of Swords come out. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. I feel like it's a maybe. I feel like he might bring it up. He might mention, which it's funny because like my logical brain is saying like, no, that's probably conservative area, right? I'm not sure where that event was at today. It was in Utah, right? But it was probably like a conservative area. So part of me thinks like there's no way that he would do that. But then the cards are kind of making it seem like he wants to look heroic. So yeah, he might. But I feel like personally that he won't. I don't know. I'm conflicted on this one. Hold the cards up here so you guys can see them. Ooh. These little bitty cards are so little and delicate, and they just fly all over the place. They're so slick. I think he might do something, but you know, I don't know if it'll be the National Guard. That's the thing, is I'm kind of thinking like he's gonna do something, possibly, if it's advantageous. And I think that's what this card is really showing up for. If they see that this situation can be used to their benefit, yes. Yeah, Durham. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. And so now that I'm gonna try to start doing the lives pretty frequently, I'm gonna have to like hide a couple of cards and not show them to you guys, or like turn them over on the table. It's not a problem if I film, because I use Adobe so I can like censor stuff. So I'll probably just put like the blur. You know how on the old show Cops, people had the blurred out face? That's what I'm going to do to my tarot cards. Because I think it'll be funny. It's like, ooh, you know, it's so terrible. I had to put the Cops blur on it. But yeah, I've heard about that. And you know what? Blue Sky deletes my posts left and right for that reason. Do you know how many of my videos they've deleted for that reason? I even screenshotted one of them one time and was like, seriously? I've literally seen really, you know, really stuff. Really stuff, okay, on Blue Sky. Didn't get deleted, didn't get taken down. My tarot card did, though. It's weird. It's like, why? Who's reporting me? You know? Suzanne says, oh, Suzanne, that's a good point. Oh my God, that's a really good, really terrifying point. And do you know what? That kind of just pulled all of these readings together into a nice little bow that makes everything make sense. Oh my God. I wouldn't put it past him. A needed distraction. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've got chills. Oh my God. I'm shaking, you guys. I think that's it. I think, Suzanne, you're right. That's exactly what this is. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Do you all think that he would have, I don't want to say sacrificed, you know, for a distraction? Oh, that's so awful. But that feels true, yeah. Pie Pan is thinking the same thoughts. Oh, wow, guys. I think we're on to something. Can you share a link of your channel on Blue Sky? Yeah, my Blue Sky is linked in the description. There's no description as of right now on this video because I didn't fill out all the stuff to start the stream. I was struggling, but I'll put it in later. But it's in all my other videos. But my Blue Sky is linked, and like all of them. I don't really use a whole lot of other social medias at this point. I kind of just pick one and focus on it. But yeah, I do use Blue Sky. So Wow, that was an intense thought a minute ago. Let's without saying, if you guys know, you know what we were just talking about. Let's pull a few cards and see what comes out based on that. King of Cups, first one up. Pretty good sign of someone who is knowing when to hold them and when to fold them. We got the 9 just came out, was a jumper. Got another jumper. The Chariot. We got some stalker cards today, I'll tell you that much. They're trying to tell us something. I feel like there is... I hate to say this. I really don't even want to say this. I feel like, yeah. I'm not just saying that. So, okay. Tell you everything I know about these cards, I guess, to justify this. So I feel like with on the King of Cups, when we're looking at the King of Cups card, you've got, like I said, someone who knows when to hold them and when to fold them. Someone who is very capable of quelling their emotions if they need to, in full control emotionally, and maybe even if they don't want to feel any sympathy or any empathy or compassion, they don't have to. They can just turn it on and off because they're in full control of it. And then we've got someone who has all the capabilities. He's sitting on all of the gold, and he's got access to all of the big red buttons, and he can do what he wants to do. And then we've got the Chariot, which is a catalyst, a vehicle to drive forward an agenda. So I'm not just saying it. I think we're right, and that is terrifying. Yeah, I don't even know what my handle is on Blue Sky. Yeah, but Durham's right. I think, yeah, it's but it's Clevenger, Clevenger. But yeah, I think it is just S.J. Clevenger, isn't it? I'd have to look. Oh boy, what a day. What a day. What a reading. Oh my. Whew. Did I miss any questions? I certainly did not mean to. Hopefully I got everybody's questions. I'm doing a little bit better at keeping up with the cards and the chat and the stream and all that. So there is hope for me after all. I am getting pretty thirsty though, and I do need to eat something. I haven't eaten anything today yet. Getting pretty hungry. And the thing too, like with live streams, is like I'll get on here and then I don't want to quit live streaming. Once I get everything going, I don't want to stop. So I have to make myself stop. But listen, guys, I'll tell you, if you don't know, which I guess maybe everybody knows, there's like a little bell when you're watching my videos or on my channel. There's a little bell. You click on that bell and turn on post and live notifications. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, so you can do all personalized. You don't want to do the other two, but you could do all or personalized. Just turn on all, and you'll get notified when I go live, and also when I upload. And then that way, when I start doing more frequent lives, you guys will be notified and have opportunity to come tune in. But I guess I will go ahead and call it here. And this was a pretty good test. It worked out pretty well, I think. Sorry, it's a square. There was supposed to be another secondary camera running, but I didn't put it on the stand. But anyway, thank you all for coming. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And thank you again, Michelle, for the super chat. Truly, truly appreciate that. And you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you very, very, very soon. All right, I don't know how to end this. Let me see if I can find the end.